Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you. Thank you for, in front of such an audience, giving me the opportunity to present end clients, because, gentlemen, don't take it badly and personally, but it's not only about CCPs, because I've been hearing this. I'm here to represent clients, asset management, not the whole industry, but I'll modestly try to speak for the end clients. And I'll just take a second to present my company, just to tell you what I do on a daily basis and come back to operational issues. Natixis Asset Management is the largest affiliate of the Natixis Global Asset Management Group, which has a strong presence in the US, in Europe, and in Asia. It's the 15th largest asset manager, actually. And my company is based in Paris. We manage 370 billion euros. And we belong to the second largest banking group in France, Banque Populaire Caisse d'Épargne. And I was saying this because you could think that I'm a banker, but actually I'm an asset manager, and that's a totally different job. There's a legal separation between the two. It's called a Chinese wall. And we are investors on behalf of retail, corporate, and institutional clients. Our objective is their objective. They can be savings, they can be development projects, they can be retirement plans, and we invest their assets on financial markets. Coming to today's subject, and I'm personally in charge of the investments in bonds and debts. So we use the assets of our clients to finance the debts of corporates, small and large, and one main difference with equity is that we entirely finance the debts of governments. Therefore, we invest in the real economy and have a strong added value. Now, coming to today's subject, and first of all, our relationship with CCPs. Well, actually, we don't have a direct relationship, and that's the first issue. We have these clearing members between us two, and we see this relation as a real counterparty. I mean, a real counterparty is the clearing member. And although there is that relationship as well with the CCP, it means that we have a double inherent risk in terms of counterparty. So that's the first issue for asset managers. Coming to what we do, in terms of derivatives, we use mostly exchange-traded futures and very few OTC cleared derivatives. And most of our clients ask us to use those derivatives for hedging purposes. All of our clients, almost, except for a few, ask us to hedge the currency risk. So we use derivatives all the time. But still, compared to banking sector, of course, these volumes are extremely limited. So that's why I'm bringing up the subject of exemption on compensation, a clear obligation. It's essential for us. Of course, there should be a threshold under which some funds, some mandates, should be exempt of clearing obligations. And all the more, if we did not have this possibility of an exemption, then those additional constraints might be in opposition to the current regulation for these clients or these funds. And by the way, we do have a specific regulation for the sector. It's done by AIFM or UCITS, and it's really done in order to protect the client's interests, which is our number one priority. So the revised EMIR has important goals, I agree, and it's taking place in a huge context. Of course, and we've mentioned this already a number of times, there's global competition for market infrastructures, the Brexit negotiations, I'll come back to that. The building of the CMU, consultation on ESAs, that was mentioned as well. And of course, the CCP's recovery and resolution framework, which tends to ensure funding of the real economy, as I said, and an orderly financial stability. So the timing is crucial. The EU, the regulators, the member states, and actors such as ourselves should take this opportunity to find the right setup for the regulation on derivatives for the buy side as well. And there are still many issues to be addressed. First of all, the lack of transparency on pricing models. There's a real need for governance within the CCPs. Asset managers should be represented, for example, during the risk committees. Then there's the issue on the cost of segregated accounts, which needs to be addressed. And finally, of course, the variation margins, a big topic. Those should be protected in case of CCP's recovery. The losses should not impact retail investors' money to bail out defaulting CCPs. This would also cause a risk of dissemination outside the CCPs and would go against the prime objective of this regulation, which is ensuring financial stability and avoiding cascading losses in the event of a default of a financial institution. Also, coming to the banking side, the interaction between this proposal and the Banking Recovery and Resolution Directive should be clarified to understand which rules apply to which actors. So coming to one specific topic, the reporting issues. Currently, asset managers and counterparties both currently report for each transaction, so 2 reportings. The possibility of a unique reporting should be considered for all derivatives, cleared and non-cleared. And something we didn't mention, we talked about other regulations, but the timing of this review is extremely tight in the current context. We're all trying to implement all these regulations for us and for our clients. The revised project was handed out in May, and the implementation is targeted as soon as the end of this year. Finally, coming to Brexit negotiations. Of course, we think this brings a lot of uncertainty, and it could clearly bias the interests of CCPs based in the UK versus continental Europe. We see a risk of fragmentation and possibly impose legal constraints to review the master agreement and some liquidity impacts possibly. So I hope I've made it clear on the exact positioning of an asset manager like ourselves and the mandates that we have. We are end users investing in the real economy with very large amounts of cash, I agree, but a limited use of derivatives compared to banks. So the review of EMIR aims at making it more proportionate and simple. Clearly, this is a very good thing. Therefore, it needs to address the governance issues with the presence of end users, the pricing issues with transparency, and consider the possible impacts of Brexit on the current market structure. Thank you.